Hello, my name is Steve Gerhardt. This is the Unagi Observer, and today we're going to continue the multi-part series called Anime in the 1970s. Today we're going to talk about Kimba the White Lion. This anime, like so many others, came from a manga series, or a Japanese manga serial. Kimba the White Lion hails from the father of manga himself, Osamu Tezuka. It was serialized in Manga Shonen from 1950 to 1954, and it became an anime in 1965. It was produced by Mushi Productions, and it ran for 2 years on Fuji Television. The version I want to talk about is not the same as the one that came out in the 80s or 2009 version or the repackaging, but the actual original 1965 version. Kimba the White Lion came to the United States about the same time it actually aired in Japan, which is kind of a rare thing to do. Usually the anime would air there first, go to other countries, and then come to the United States as a syndication. Also, the anime would go through a single production company to do the English dub. That is normally how it's done. But for some reason, for Kimba, the networks were allowed to do their own dubbing. So there are really about 2 or 3 different English dubs out there of the 1965 series. Now, the voice of Kimba himself was the same, but other characters were voiced by different actors. Later on, when the series was repackaged and re-released, a younger voice actor did the voice of Kimba, so it's not the same person. There is also some confusion as to Kimba's name. In Japan, it's actually Leo. In America, it's Kimba. That's why sometimes you see Leo the White Lion as the title, and your first thought is that it could be a knockoff, but it isn't. It's Kimba the White Lion. Another point is the controversy over Disney's ripping of Kimba to make The Lion King. I gotta be honest, personally, I think someone may have thought about Kimba the White Lion when pitching the story of The Lion King to Disney, but I do believe that Kimba was most likely just an inspired version of The Lion King, just an inspiration, because the plots are divergent enough that you can't really say that was a ripoff. Not like how The Hunger Games is a ripoff of Battle Royale. Now, the plot of Kimba is pretty simple. Caesar, Kimba's father, is king of the jungle, and while he's a wise leader, he kind of stepped over some boundaries when he went to the humans and took their herd animals to feed the meat eaters under his care so they wouldn't eat each other. He would then be shot and killed by a hunter who would also capture Kimba's pregnant mother. She was pregnant with him at this point. Her name was Eliza. And while on the ship, she gives birth to Kimba, and they're on their way to be sold to a zoo. Now, what happens is that there's a storm, the boat starts to sink, she dies, he is able to make it to shore, being guided by her spirit in the stars and a bunch of butterflies. He makes it to shore, he's raised by a couple of humans for a little while, but then he goes off to claim his birthright, and this is where the anime goes on to tell the tale of how he becomes king of the jungle. Now, Kimba is a huge fan favorite of people of my generation. It's been in syndication for years, but and I would tell you to watch it. But before you let a child watch this anime, particularly the 1965 version, let me give you a warning. While the English version has done a pretty good job making it suitable for an American audience, there is a lot of death in this show, and it may be hard to explain the whole his father's now a pelt and why his mother is dead. So just keep that in mind if you want to show this to a kid, whether they're your children or your niece or nephew. Alright, that's it for this installment. Again, my name is Steve Gerhardt. This has been the Unagi Observer, and I will see you guys next time.